everybody! Welcome at a new month for Journal with Us. It's March and that means it's almost spring, and to be honest, I can't wait. We didn't have a really bad winter here in the Netherlands, no snow of course, but I really like spring and summer so much better, so I can't wait for spring to start. And actually, we also have some really fun things coming for spring from the Art Journal Special collection. So all good things are coming your way. And for this month, we're going to work with fabric. That's the prompt for this month for Journal with Us. So I'm going to work on a fabric page on my journal. That means instead of using a paper page, I'm going to use fabric as a base for my journaling. And I already saw that Ilse made a really cool project herself. So I think this month is filled with inspiration for you guys, and I really hope you still enjoy our monthly inspirational videos for Journal with Us. So let's flip the camera and let's show you what I made this month. Again, if you want your project to be shown on our social media channels, then use the hashtag #ArtJournalSpecials and the hashtags that we made especially for our social media channels. So see the description for all information. I hope to see you next month. Bye bye. Let's get started. This is my journal for Journal with Us 2022, and on the left side I already have a page with some fabric sewn on it, and the right page is going to be completely made out of fabric. So what you see me doing here is I'm putting some vellum on there, and I have one of our dies. This is from the fall collection of 2021, and I just want to make my page a little bit more sturdy with some paper on the back. Of course you can make a completely fabric page, but it also will be a little bit floppy. So what I want to do is just give it a little bit of extra toughness with this paper on the background. So just putting it on there with some double-sided adhesive, so when I'm going to sew my pages, then it's already on there, because I don't want to sew it twice and get some stitching over my journaling. So I always have to think about the front and the back. So whoop, there it is, my sewn journal. So now the vellum is a kind of a pocket, and of course the die is just a pretty background. This tree die with the swing on it is from our fall collection as well, and I want to color it with some watercolors because I love how that looks in a journal. I die cutted it out of watercolor paper, and now I'm going to make the tree spring ready, because I can't wait for spring to start, as I already said in my introduction. So I'm going to make the tree with some green leaves and just a brown stem, because can't wait for leaves to start coming back on the trees here in front of our house. And the die is the tree, and some of the leaves, the ones that would be darker, or maybe just when you want to flip it, it can be lighter, they are like die cut it out of it. So I'm just working around those holes in my tree, and you will see how I'm going to work with that later on. Now I'm going to use a brown color, and I'm just plopping my watercolor on there, just some more pigment on the left and a little less on the right, just to give it a shadow effect. And as you can see as well, I don't color my complete tree. I always like it when you see a little bit of the paper still in this die. It just gives that playful effect. And now I'm going to splatter some green on the tree as well, because I just love how splatters look on my projects. And here I'm going to use a grayish color for the rope of the swing. You can hardly see it, but because they're really thin, but it gives a nice look to the swing.
And now the tree has to dry, so time to work on the rest of the pages. Just going to put that aside for a minute. It dries pretty quick, but I'm going to show you how I want to put it on the page. Clip it so it can't fall off. And now I'm going to take some other dies. These flower dies are also from our fall collection. You just have to get some of the papers out from die cutting. I used the green one and the black one. The reason I chose green is because that matches the green from the tree on the right. So I always try to use colors on both sides of my pages, so that way they just fit each other more, and you get more of a whole project. So that's the reason why I always do that, and I try to combine colors on both sizes or on both pages. Of course, you can make completely different pages on the left and on the right, but my preference is just to make a complete spread from 2 pages. So that's what I like to do. Of course, you can do whatever you want in your journal. Here I see that this piece of fabric, it's still open on the bottom, so I'm going to put some glue underneath, so the fabric on the left side is a pocket as well, and that way I can put pictures behind that, and I can put pictures behind the vellum on the right side. So I really love to play with open spaces, so I can still put pictures in there, because I love to keep my memories in my journal. And these pictures, one is from my son who went fishing, and I think that's really fun to combine that with a ready for spring project, because we hope to be outside a whole lot more in this coming time. The tree is already dry now, so I can glue that on my page as well, making sure I have enough glue that it doesn't fall off later on. And the nice thing with this glue is it dries transparent, so if there is a little bit glue coming out of the sides, I don't have to worry that much, because when it dries you won't be able to see it anymore. Now I'm going to put in these pictures, and that's the way I can see how I have to place that cloud. And I'm leaving the cloud white. You might say, of course you would, because clouds are white, but I was in doubt of giving it a color, but I think it's prettier when you just leave it white. So it's just a watercolor paper that I die cutted it out of, and I think it looks nice on that page, and it brings the whole spring theme together, and being outside more, and just ready to do the outside living. What you see me doing here is I die cutted the tree out of black paper as well, and I'm just using the parts that you would normally throw away or that just fall out, and the black pieces I'm now gluing into my colored tree. And that's the way I want to give it more definition and to make it more pop off the page, because you were able to see the die underneath it that was a little bit busy for me. So I thought it would be nicer to fill those bigger holes with some black paper, and I really like how that turned out. Now I'm going to look for a quote to put on my page. I really love those Tim Holtz stickers, and I'm just looking in my booklets which one would fit this page, these pages best. So just picking one here and going to put that on the bottom of my page. And I really like just saying words in combination with the feeling that I have for a certain day, or maybe that fits the pictures. So I always like to do that. Here you see me going to print a picture that I made the day that I filmed this. We went glow in the dark midget golfing, and here I'm using my Photoshop app to make a square picture from it. And now I'm going to my selfie app and I'm going to select the picture and I'm going to print that with my selfie square printer. And you might already know that we really love these selfie printers, and if you know our Picture-It collection, then the dies and the stamps from that collection are a perfect fit for the pictures that come out of this selfie square printer. I actually had to put some new paper in it, so that's why you saw a little bit of a glitch in my filming. But of course, when you film, the paper is empty, but now it's coming out, and it's really fast, a fast way to print pictures for your journal. This is the last bit, so now it's all finished. Put the printer aside and just looking how to put that picture behind the pocket, and I think it looks better this way. And to finish this page, I'm going to put a stamp on there I just recently bought, and it says relax today, adult later. And I thought that was a fun saying for the fun we had, me and my son, at the midget golf track. So just going to tear that out of the green paper, and as you can see, I'm using green again just to put that color more on these pages, just to bring everything together. I'm just going to put it on the bottom, and the paper that's a base for this page where I have sewn the fabric on, I put it in there with some double-sided adhesive so I can lift it just a little bit, and that way I can put my staples in there without ruining the page on the back. Of course, you can put your staples just on there, but I didn't want to staple through some things that were on the back, so I'm just lifting that paper and gluing it back on there, and that way I'm finishing up my spread, and I think it's ready like this. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, gives you some inspiration, and I hope to see you next month. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.